sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Love might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, please reconsider. Give the heavens more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Vanderputten, a member of the Board of Trustees, and it's my honor to welcome you today to our service on this gorgeous end of summer, or at least late summer day. We are a community that seeks to be inclusive, welcoming whoever you may be, whatever your sexual identity, race, background, economic status, ability, or disability, seen or unseen. Whether this is your first time or you've been here from the beginning, know that you are welcome to bring your whole self into this community, to connect, to grow, and to serve. Tomorrow, Arlington schools open, and last week the Fairfax schools opened. As a former teacher for 12 years, and of course a longtime student, back to school always, and this time of year, always reminds me of the excitement of something new, the possibilities, but also the fear, the challenges that we'll be facing. Will I make friends? Will I be able to succeed? As we bless the backpacks today, we can share in the excitement and our hope for our young folks. But as the theme for today's service reminds us, this is also a time to pause, to take a deep breath, to remember all that we have been through over the past few years, and to prepare ourselves for the challenges ahead. A few reminders. Next Sunday will be the last time that we have a single service. The following Sunday, we are back to the 2 services, and that will be an exciting day because it will be the water communion, welcoming back, and the installation of the board. If you are here in the sanctuary, please join us afterwards for coffee in the activity room and for good conversation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Now, please rise in body or spirit and say Happy Sunday to somebody else that is here. Good morning. Good to see you. Hello, all. And you'll get to talk more at coffee hour. Let's reel it in. Reverend Amanda, calling Reverend Amanda to the chancel. Reverend Amanda, calling Reverend Amanda to the chancel. She never gets to really do this, so she's just going to keep talking. Reverend Amanda, calling Reverend Amanda to the chancel. Thank you, Reverend Amanda. That was great. You guys like each other so much. Maybe one day we'll just do that is church. Right? We could. I offer you a call to worship, beginning with the words of Parker Palmer. Self-care is never a selfish act. It is simply good stewardship of the only gift I have, the gift I was put on the earth to offer to others. Anytime we can listen to true self and give it the care required, we do not only do it for ourselves, no, we are also doing it for the many others in the world whose lives we ultimately touch. The words of Parker Palmer. And this piece are the words of Rev CTC. This day is yours. In the midst of your striving, your labor, your responsibilities, your hustle and bustle, hear the invitation, come to the feast. The table is set. Come, eat and drink. The chalice will soon be lit. Come, rest and rejoice. The people and the music are here. Come, sing in the presence of the divine. Listen, listen. Grace is calling you. Hope is calling you. Community is here for you. Listen, come. The table has been set. The feast awaits us all.
Each week, we light a candle of compassion, holding in our hearts those around the world who suffer from war, violence, loneliness, illness, and grief. We also hold in our hearts momentous events that have shaped our country and our world. And today we honor the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. This year, there has been an effort to galvanize younger generations to participate in these anniversary activities. The National Action Network's Youth and College Division has been extremely engaged with all of that, Reverend Sharpton leading the way. And the NAACP has brought its youth and college members together to join campaign teams on the ground, inspired by the history and looking to the future as they help to register voters in the months and years ahead. We also today honor and hold in our hearts all those who continue to fight for safety and rescue and continued health for those who have survived the fires in Maui. And we hold those who grieve the loss of family, friends, and homeland. And finally, we honor all who work in our federal and state systems and legal systems, those that seek to bring justice to our country, including in the face of danger. We light this candle of compassion, holding all these and more in our hearts. And like our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world, we light a chalice each week. I invite you to join me in our chalice lighting words, which you'll find in your order of service. I'll begin. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world.
Our opening hymn is Morning Has Broken. It's in your hymnals, page 38. Please rise in body or spirit, and let's sing with gusto.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the new one light, Eden's supply. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
So we have a tradition that happens in many congregations at the beginning of the school year. We bless backpacks. We also bless satchels and cell phones and notepads and calendars and basically anything that you use to get yourself started in the fall for the year. So at this point in time, anybody who has a thing that they would like to get blessed, please come forward to right in front of the chancel.
As you all are doing that, come right on
Come
up.
on.
Come right on up. Oh,
Come
Barbara
right on.
wants her cell phone
Barbara
blessed.
wants her phone blessed.
That's wonderful.
Excellent.
I
Come
think this
on
will
up.
mean all the updates will work. I do want to give folks just a warning. Excellent. Come on up.
Yep, there we
that,
go. Ooh,
Rev
sparkly.
CTC and I use some special magic wands during our backpack blessing. If you are particularly sensitive to light, please do be aware that the wands have flashing lights, and they're contained to the wand, but we'll likely have those lights on during our backpack blessing, and then
Right.
we'll turn them off, and they'll be off at the end of the blessing. So just an FYI,
An FYI.
if you're sensitive. All right. Okay.
Do we
We've
have
got
all our
some. I think
things?
we're
Is
good.
everybody
We have
here?
everything ready.
And the blessing will go farther if you did not come to the front.
Yes. Oh
don't,
yeah.
Don't feel left
It extends.
out. It extends.
It sure does.
It completely extends.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, now then the lights go on. Today we have with us the stuff we need for school and work. Things are different this fall. We're tired. We've had long summers, but still we are going back to school. Every one of us, every member of this congregation is engaged in the work and the learning of the world. It holds hopes and dreams. Your summer was filled with popsicles and rainbows, and hopefully it was fun, yeah?
As we begin the fall and the school year and work year ahead, we know that there will be homework. There will be books to be read. There will be math problems to be solved. There will be art to be created. And all of the things that we engage in school and at work as part of our learning process.
Some days you will have much to do. You will feel as though it never can all be finished. Other days, your workload will be lighter. But on each and every day you can step forward and lean into the learning.
Some days we may feel happy. Some days we may feel sad. Some days the world may feel like a scary place. And maybe more than we want to admit, some days we may feel a little alone.
Alone. When that happens, I suggest this to everyone here. Close your eyes. Remember the people in our fellowship family. Know that we are with you, holding you, loving you, supporting you, and know that you are never, ever truly alone. Now, join us in a spirit of prayer and compassion.
Ready?
Go.
We bless these people and their possessions as they stand ready to commit themselves to study and learning in the year ahead, as they follow their dreams and embrace the challenges that lie in front of them. Let their cell phones, calculators, tablets, laptops, crayons, rulers, scissors, glue sticks, bags, backpacks, and satchels be filled with love and kindness. As they move through this school year and year of work, may they be reminded of the love streaming from this congregation. Maybe you can join us by putting your hands up to stream a little bit of love.
Oh, look at all that love.
And
oh my
the
goodness.
support that surrounds them every single day.
We also offer a blessing and our loving care to all those who work, to the teachers and the administrators that serve our schools, the nurses, first responders, and healthcare workers, the supervisors, deans, and administrators at universities around the DMV, and all those who are working for and are leading businesses in our community.
Let them be reminded that this congregation embraces their call to toil, teach, and serve, and supports them as they take care of and work with our loved ones. May goodness, blessings, and joy surround all of you.
Amen.
Make sure we get every little.
Did you get all the
yeah,
little back? Okay,
all
so
of-
get this one, you get
Ooh, a
this one.
Fitbit. Excellent.
Wait,
Yes, that's
excellent.
good too. Yes.
Excellent.
Little
There's something over
smartwatches.
here. We have a
Excellent.
phone.
Some
We
tags.
have
That's
some
good.
keys.
I got you, Si.
Did
There
you
we
get
go.
all those over there?
All right. Yeah, we're good.
I believe we're
good.
blessed.
We're
Are
ready
we? Are
and
we?
we're off.
And we're blessed.
Are you keeping them up there, Rev CTC?
I think you guys should just stay put, because what we're going to do next is the wisdom lesson. So hang out a bit. I have a story for you. Let me scooch right here. How are you guys? Are you good? Are you awake? Hey, Martel, how's the arm? It's good? Come on, sit. Anybody else who is interested in the story? Oh, yours has your name on it. Can I show them? This is the best. It says Stella. Very nice. Have a seat. This is a very nice shirt, Martel. Thank you for showing it to me. Marteal. Marteal? Is that right? Marteal. I was close. This book is called I'm Enough. It's by Grace Byers. Like the sun, I am here to shine. Like the voice, I am here to sing. Like the bird, I am here to fly and soar high over everything. Like the trees, I'm here to grow. Like the mountains, I'm here to stand. Like time, I'm here to be and be every single thing that I can. Like the champ, I'm here to fight. Like the heart, I'm here to love. Like a ladder, I'm here to climb, and like the air, I rise above. Like the wind, I'm here to push, and like a rope, I'm here to pull. Like the rain, I'm here to pour and drip and fall until I'm full. Like the moon, you see that moon in the window? I'm here to dream. Like the student, I'm here to learn. Like the water here to swell, like the fire here to burn. Like a winner, I'm here to win. And if I don't, I'll get up again. I know that I may sometimes cry, but even then, I'm here to try. I'm not meant to be like you. You're not meant to be like me. Sometimes we will get along. Sometimes we might disagree. I know that we don't all look the same. Our skin, our eyes, our hair, our frame. But that doesn't dictate our worth. We both have places here on this earth. And in the end, we are right here to live a life of love, not fear, to help each other when it's tough, to say together, I am enough. Can you guys say that? I am enough. I am enough. Exactly as you are, perfectly made, each one of you is enough. And before you go, we have swag this morning. Please take one. Great. Whoops, there you go. Did you get it? Oh, pass it down. Who's missing one? Don't be shy. So when you blow into these pinwheels, what I want you to say to yourselves is, I am enough. I am enough. Let me hear you. I am enough. I am enough. Excellent. Thank you all for listening to the story. Let's sing the children out. Maureen? All right, guys, off you go.
Here's to you on your way. May
good.
friends and opening your mind to the wonders of the world you will find. To the wonders of the world you will find.
Rev CTC, you always have the best swag.
Well, thank you.
I mean, it's really true. I don't even know where you get it. It's beautiful. I'm going to have to get a pinwheel, obviously, at the end of this service, right?
Oh, wait.
You going to give me one right now?
Yes. You can have
How
one.
many times do I do that from the chancel
From
that
the-
I make you do
I
it
need one.
publicly?
I need one too. No, if you just came and listened to the story like you're supposed to, just saying, you would have got a pinwheel. Okay.
I want to invite you, amid laughter and joy, the perfect time to open our hearts, to join me in prayer and meditation. A prayer perhaps that Rev CTC has started off with us and the children's voices have echoed. I am enough. If you are comfortable to close your eyes or to soften your gaze, I invite you to do so, to take a breath. Let it out. I am enough. To feel yourself right here in this moment, in this place, and to know I am enough. Even with the to-do lists that are not done, the preparations not yet completed, the worries that hold you back, I am enough. With the joy and the silliness and the laughter that you feel, with the jubilance from another summer weekend, I am enough. With sorrow and grief that stays with you, curling up in your heart, reminding you it is there, I am enough. I am enough. May this be your prayer and meditation. May you know that it is true, just as we believe it to be true of every child. We believe it to be true of you. May it be so, and amen.
Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón cántale tu compasión. Sopla valor, sube en amor hasta moler la justa de la vida. Libérame, fuente de amor, ven
you, Maureen. Our first reading this morning is an excerpt from a book called Sacred Time and the Search for Meaning. It was written by Gary Erbil. Sacred time is devoted to the heart, to the self, to others, to eternity. Sacred time is not measured in minutes or hours or days. Sacred time, like sacred space, is necessary to our well-being. But sacred time has grown increasingly difficult to find. The modern world runs strictly by the clock. From the moment the alarm sounds in the morning, we are immersed in the quick flow of time. Social time, work time, commuting time. The computers we work with all day measure our lives in nanoseconds. Our bulging daily planners and personal digital assistants make sure we keep every waking second filled with activities. We are booked and double booked often, from dawn until we turn off the television or shut down our computer at nighttime. Why this pace, this manic pace? Why do we rarely, if ever, step outside time's repeating flow to re-examine the fast-paced lives we are living? Why? Why can't we look at our lives from the perspective of eternity and see what others have done before us? I thought we modern folk probably have grown afraid of those quiet times our ancestors took for granted, those moments in the dark without external stimuli, when human beings looked inside themselves and examined the slower rhythms of their existence. That's always been the path to wisdom, but we seem to have abandoned it and re-abandoned it over and over. Or at least we seem to have given away the time needed to follow that pathway. And then I begin to wonder what happens to us individually and as a society when we cease to visit those eternal places within ourselves on a regular, planned basis. The answer, of course, quickly became clear. What happens? We end up frantic, fragmented, fast-paced life we experience on the commercial strip of life, reading the daily news or logging on to cyberspace repeatedly over and over and over. Frantic, fragmented. It is a world without permanence, a world in which the only constant is change, a world untouched by anything we might call eternity. Without regularly touching eternity, we live in a world that lacks cohesion and depth. That world where time flies in an ever-accelerated rhythm until we want to stop, until we want to shout, until perhaps, using the language of that old Broadway play, we must stop the world because we want to get off. Time, time, time.
As we reflect on time this Sunday and its resource in our life and how we use it, we reflect too, as we do each week, on the resources of money and gifts that we bring within this congregation. Here at UUCA, we give 70% of all the funds collected on a Sunday morning during our collection to an organization whose values resonate with our own. This August, we have been sharing with Path Forward. Some of you may have been here last Sunday and heard Scott Miller from Path Forward join us and talk a little bit about their work. And you may perhaps be familiar with their work under a different name, ASPAN. Path Forward renamed itself to better express the way it gives paths forward to folks who are experiencing homelessness in our Arlington community. You can read a little bit more about some of the numbers that Path Forward shares. Here at UUCA, one of the ways that we contribute to and partner with Path Forward is by making bagged lunches here in our fellowship hall once a month or more. If you want to be involved in that, I'm sure you can reach out to Rev CTC. She'll get you connected with the right person. And today you have an opportunity to give to Path Forward's work to help it increase the number of people that it serves with your resources. We'll collect your gifts in whatever way you want to give them to us. Check, credit card using the QR code on the back of the order of service, cash. We appreciate your giving as you are able and the generosity of this congregation. We'll receive your gifts and gifts of music from Maureen.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Maureen, thank you so much. Sometimes I think we should warn people when we have guest musicians that you have backup singers up here. Rev CTC and I are really bad at keeping our mouths shut, so hope that you enjoyed that addition to your music, Maureen. Thank you so much, ushers, for bringing forward the offering as we have collected it. I invite you all to join me in blessing this offering. The words are found in your order of service. We bless and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to true generosity. Let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure. Let us be grateful for our needs and the experience of vulnerability. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation. Thank you so much. There are two more short readings I'd like to share with you this morning that Rev CTC has selected for our morning's theme. The first one comes from Sue Bender in the book Everyday Sacred. We all need a certain amount of fallow time, Yvonne reminds me. Watching the grass grow, sitting on the hillside, staring out the window, daydreaming. When we don't have it, there is a deeper intelligence that won't come forth. Mine is a racehorse rhythm, and once I get started in the morning, it is difficult for me to stop. Now I can see that a pause, even a very small pause, is extremely useful. These little Sabbaths replenish my body and spirit. And these words from Maya Angelou from the book Wouldn't Take Nothing for My Journey Now. This reading is titled One Day Away. Every person needs to take one day away, a day in which one consciously separates the past from the future. Jobs, lovers, family, employers, and friends can exist one day without any one of us. And if our egos permit us to confess, they could exist eternally in our absence. Each person deserves a day away in which no problems are confronted, no solutions searched for. Each of us needs to withdraw from the cares which will not withdraw from us. We need hours of aimless wandering or spates of time sitting on park benches, observing the mysterious world of ants and the canopy of treetops. If we step away for a time, we are not, as many may think and some will accuse, being irresponsible, but rather we are preparing ourselves to more ably perform our duties and discharge our obligations. When I return home, I am always surprised to find some questions I sought to evade had been answered, and some entanglements I hoped to flee had become unraveled in my absence. A day away acts as a spring tonic. It can dispel rancor, transform indecision, and renew the spirit. You will see in your order of service that there is actually not a sermon listed, but there is, I am delighted to tell you, a sermon planned. And indeed, this is the moment. This is the moment.
This is the moment.
We're ready.
We're ready. Last Sunday, we kept saying, we're back. We are back, and we still make mistakes sometimes. I have a sermon for you this morning that I've done a lot of researching on. I read a great deal in preparation. I listened to podcasts. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. All of that was helpful, but it was the books and magazines that were particularly useful. I found one story in UU World magazine. You all know UU World magazine. It's the best magazine in the world, and it's on your nightstands, I'm sure, and you are ready to read another article. Okay, I'll stop. This article that was in UU World was wonderfully written by Amanda Aikman. I'm going to begin my sermon this morning with Amanda Aikman's words. To ensure you get the full effect of her hilarious prose, I'm not going to paraphrase. I'm actually just going to speak exactly what she wrote. These are her words. Are we becoming a nation of cat vacuumers? I asked this pressing question, remembering my neighbor Betty, She had a rambling 3-story house that was filled with knickknacks. She had a gentle husband named Jay, who mostly stayed out of her way, tending his roses and things. And she had a cat. Betty also had some sort of compulsion that made it impossible for her to leave the house in the morning without first dusting or vacuuming every single item in her house. This included the cat named Reuben. He was a jaunty, slim, black little fellow whose elegance of gait and demeanor did not betray his humble origins. As a kitten, he'd been rescued from a dumpster. He was carried by Jay, the person who brought him home, in his pocket. Reuben knew he had been rescued from a dumpster. He knew about the world outside Betty and Jay's house, a harsh reality where there were bad smells, there was hunger, other cats, and noises even louder than the whine of a vacuum cleaner. And because of that, every morning, with a martyred expression on his furry face, not unlike that of Saint Sebastian in Guido Reni's famous painting, Reuben would lie on his back and submit to being vacuumed. Betty used the Hoover's upholstery crevice tool, determined to get every last scrap of fur and dander off of Reuben. Jay would sometimes come by and say, over the noise of the vacuum, "Now, Betty, why do you have to vacuum that poor cat again? You did it yesterday." But Betty didn't know why. She just kept vacuuming. She had to do it all before she felt free to leave her house. Brothers and sisters, is there something in your life that is the equivalent of cat vacuuming? Something you feel compelled to do even though it drains your time and energy, even though it makes very little sense, something you have bound yourself to and from which you don't give yourself any rest? Does it sometimes feel as if your entire life is an endless round of work and frantic consumption, and leisure that feels suspiciously more and more like work? Is true healing rest something you are vaguely planning to enjoy one day? Can you even remember the last time you were truly, totally relaxed? Was it days ago? Or maybe even months? That ends the portion of the sermon that is somebody else's words. Pause. The rest of the communication I'm about to offer you are Rev CTC's words. Basically, what Amanda is asking us is, have you forgotten why you do what you do, yet continue to do it over and over and over? Are you possibly vacuuming the cat? We're incredibly busy people. Working, reading, writing, laughing, playing, running, visioning, eating, commuting, parenting, vacationing, failing, caretaking, succeeding. People moving at breakneck speed. We try to manage our never-ending to-do list while we remember to switch the laundry from the washer to the dryer and put the tofu-based one-sheet meal in the oven. Wait. Do you know what a one-sheet meal is? Yeah. Yes? No? Let me explain. I think a one-sheet meal is the modern-day casserole. You take a baking sheet, a cookie sheet. Then you add neat sections of protein and veggies to the sheet. Chunks of tofu in one row, beautifully colored organic beets in another row, bite-sized chunks of tiny broccolini, slices of the most beautiful carrot you saw at Whole Foods. Then you spray the entire thing with olive oil, or if you're a purist, you drizzle the entire thing with olive oil, and then you shake on top of it a healthy amount of New York everything bagel seasoning. because that has all the seasonings in it and you don't need more than one container of spices on your stovetop. You slide that cookie sheet into the oven at 340 degrees, and in about 35 minutes, you have a yummy, healthy, plant-based casserole to be proud of. I advise you to do this regularly. A one-sheet meal is an amazing thing. There's even a cookbook about one-sheet meals now, but you don't need to go buy another book. Just Google one-sheet meal, and you will find a myriad of ways to prepare your entire dinner for you or your family or guests on one pan in 35 minutes. Now back to the regularly scheduled sermon. Where was I? Oh, we are busy. We are too busy. We are all so busy that having 7 days in every week doesn't feel like it is remotely enough time. Even those of us fortunate enough to have the economic means to take a day off each week generally can't, or we don't. We're always behind schedule, we're always plugged in, we're always trying to catch up, we are always multitasking. Whether you're a corporate lawyer or an electrician, a school teacher or a stay-at-home parent, a student or a retiree, you know retirees are often the busiest people of all. Nobody's got time for anything anymore. But there's a change simmering among the relentlessly overworked, among people tethered to academia and its schedule, among religious folk and those who serve others every day, doctors, nurses, teachers, dentists, caregivers. There's a change simmering as they try to recover and reclaim the sabbatical practice. Why? They are profoundly aware that what is lost when we don't intentionally plan for time away, when we don't intentionally take that sacred, hollow time we planned for, they are aware that we are losing part of ourselves. We need a pause, and not just any pause. We need a laughter-filled, heart-opening space that we can wallow in. Wallow in. We need a time outside the usual cycle of work and no play. Our friends at Wikipedia, yes, I do Wikipedia. Our friends at Wikipedia define sabbatical like this. Sabbatical, from the Hebrew word sabbat. In Latin, sabbaticus. Sabbatical is a rest or a break from work, an extended period of time intentionally spent on something that's not your routine job. The concept of sabbatical is also based on the biblical practice of Shemitah. That's related to agriculture. According to Leviticus 25, Jews in the land of Israel took a year-long break from working the fields every 7 years. I agree with this idea of taking a break, not continuing to toil at what you're good at what you love, at what you would not give away for anything. While we're not able to step away for an entire year, we can choose to step away from the burdens of simply living, simply existing, to dig within, to go deeper, to rediscover solitude. That stepping away gives us time, and we need time. We need time outside the cycle of work and consumerism. We need purely unplugged, unplanned time. We need time alone. We need time together. We need time to drink, to think, to pray. We need time to play with each other. We need time in nature, to sit under a tree, to watch the grass grow, to build a snowman, to take a walk by the river with someone you love. We need time to really talk to each other, not while you're making dinner, not when you're on the way out the door. We need time. And more than anything, a sabbatical offers the gift of time. My colleague and dear friend, the Reverend Rebecca Savage, the senior minister at the UU Church in Rockville, Maryland, recently took a 6-month sabbatical. 6 months. I didn't see her before she left, but I spent several Tough Mudder bonding hours with her in May of 2023, near the end of said sabbatical, near the end of her fallow time. Now, Queen Savage is always beautiful. Some of you know Rebecca. You've met her, you've seen her, you've worshiped with her. I see Art going like this in the back in the booth. She is beautiful inside and out. But that weekend, she was glowing. She was relaxed. She was open. She was funny. She was spiritually centered. She was the leader of our Tough Mudder team, and there couldn't have been a better leader. She told me a few things about being almost done with sabbatical. She was sleeping as much as her body requested and napping regularly. She was eating mindfully and tending to her spirit. She shared that taking time away from church and using that time for self-care and making room for spacious, wide open thinking had fed her spirit. Her pause was a beautiful thing. It was almost over. She was a little bit sad that it was almost over. But that pause for sabbatical changed the way Rebecca would do ministry forever. This taking a sabbatical leave is a tradition for UU clergy. It offers us an extended time for study, for reflection, for rest and renewal. Many of the elements we have to have an effective ministry when we're not on sabbatical. A few things for you to know. This August is the start of my 11th year in UU ministry, with the last 2 years being lovingly spent right here in this building with this congregation. It's been a busy and challenging and beautiful wild ride. My ministry started in Maryland, it leapt to Berkeley, California, it sprinted to Port Townsend, Washington. Then it leapt again, and I landed in Oklahoma before I returned to the East Coast and served congregations in New Jersey, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Then I came to you all here in Arlington, Virginia. Shoo. This autumn will be the first time I have taken any sabbatical leave in my entire UU ministry. Beginning in October and going through November, I will take 2 months of sabbatical leave. It is a privilege that I am beyond grateful for. While I'm away, I'm going to try to find a balance between resting and activity. I'll do a bit of traveling, including a long-awaited trip to France. The cathedrals of Paris are calling me. Side point, I have been lucky enough to secure an appointment to see Notre Dame in all its restored glory. It'll open to the public in December, but I will go on this tiny little tour with a group of clergy in November. That's the kind of thing you get to do on sabbatical. What else will I do? I'll spend chunks of time tending to my 2 grandsons. For 2 months, I will disconnect from work. Then, refreshed and recharged, I'll return in December and resume this role as your minister. I say again, this is an incredible privilege. I'm grateful to the board, to Rev. Amanda, and to the lay leadership here for supporting the idea of a much needed and deeply appreciated break. It's a bit unheard of for someone to work for 2 years and then go on sabbatical. There's a lot of raised eyebrows among my colleagues. But when I inspect those eyebrows a little closer, what I see is joy for me and the wish that we change the way we use sabbatical time across the board. My taking a 2-month sabbatical after 2 years, think ahead, means that this wonderful, wonderful minister over here will have carved her way into taking a sabbatical maybe after 3 years, maybe after 4, but she certainly won't have to wait till 6 years, which has been the UU tradition. Again, I say I know it's a privilege, and I'm grateful. The work I do to answer this calling to ministry and to try to change the world is set apart from the norm. I usually start my weekend at about 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, after morning services are done, after the blessings has been done, after we have sermonized, after we have live streamed. I make my way home to an easy chair. I pick the beverage of my choice from my refrigerator. I hope there's a piece of brie stuck in the corner somewhere that I can nosh on. I slide into that chair, and by Sunday at 5 o'clock, I'm pretending to watch the TV. What that means when your weekend starts on Sunday afternoons is you're out of sync with most of the world. My weekend has started on Sunday afternoons since the summer of 2010, when I started seminary. For 2 months this autumn, that will no longer be the case. It will change. Going on sabbatical is in no way, shape, or form a one-person thing. The board had to say, we hear you, we see you, take your time. Amanda had to say, it'll be all right, we can do this thing, now tell me how to do your job. The staff had to say, I need all these things from you before you go away. So I am so planned into next year already that it's amazing. We already know what we're going to do in Black History Month. Ha! Going on sabbatical helps you to get organized. We all need a space away to intentionally refuel and refresh. That's what I'm going to do in October and November with the blessings of the people I serve. I'm going to close this morning with a story called The Sabbath Walk. This is a South American tale. Long ago, there was a tribe that went on a long march, day after day after day. Then all of a sudden, they would stop walking, sit down, and rest for a while. At some point, they would make camp and stay there for a couple of days before taking another step or going any farther. People were curious, but when they asked them about this pattern of walking and resting before you walk, they were easy and happy to explain. We stopped because we needed time for rest, and so our souls could catch up with us. So our souls could catch up with us.
Yes. There is more love.
There is more love somewhere.
And our souls are catching up with
our
us, and
souls
we're
will
singing a
catch up
hymn.
with us. Number 93. 95? 93. 95. All right, y'all.
Gee, Red CTC, you need a sabbatical.
I might need a break.
Will you rise in body or in spirit to sing hymn, apparently, number 95?
95. That's what the people say.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere.
you join me in our chalice extinguishing words found in your order of service? We extinguish this chalice, but not the light and warmth it represents. These we carry with us, bringing our sparks of love to the world.
We are grateful for the abundance of love in this room. We are grateful for the wisdom and compassion that surrounds us all. As you go forth into the world, may you be blessed with never-ending peace. May your cups overflow with joy. May today, tomorrow, and every day that follows be filled with abundance. May you go forth and change the world. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
Ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da da da. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Ba da 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 da. Feeling groovy, da-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? I've come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? I do-do-do-do, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Feeling groovy, I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy, ba-da-da-da.